Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I'm so excited to be here today with our amazing guest author, Stephanie Arend. She is joining us all the way from Germany. So we're especially excited that we were able to make the time zones work and it's not the middle of the night for Stephanie or any of us joining in. So I know you'll all see this whenever you are watching, and we're so happy to have you. And Stephanie, welcome. So glad you're here.
Thank you so much for having me, Sarah.
So I have absolutely loved getting to know you and been so, just consider myself so very blessed to get to work with you. And we're going to talk a little bit about today. I'm going to, ask Stephanie some questions about her journey, like we like to do in these interviews. And I just want to let everyone know Stephanie's new book, which is so beautiful, Be Healthy with Yin Yoga, just came out in English. So we're going to be talking a lot about what it's like to be publishing in other countries other than, where you live and where you're from as an author. Like, what challenges does that present? What opportunities does it create? Because it's a thing that a lot of us think about. We want to get our work and our message out into the world in a big way. So this is such a beautiful book. You guys can go on Amazon. We'll put the link here and you can see, but there are these gorgeous sequences around yin yoga for healing so many, ailments and anxiety, whether something's going on in your mind, something's going on in your body. This is such a beautiful book, and much more than a book, it's a tool for transformation and healing. So Stephanie, I just love your work. I'm such a big fan. And I'm curious if you want to just let people know a little more about what you do, because you're an author, yes, but you are also a renowned teacher. You are also a workshop facilitator. You do many things under the umbrella of the wellness work. And so do you want to just share a little more about what you do?
Yes, thank you. I'm a yin yoga teacher trainer, first of all, and I'm also a nutritionist, an energy worker, and a health coach.
Yeah, I'm very talented, amazing, amazing person. And so, Stephanie, did you always know this is what you were going to be doing? I love asking people this because, some people knew very young, like this was my vision, my path, and other people it was quite a surprise. So how about for you?
No, not at all, actually. I studied foreign languages and I worked at an office. I had an office job, and when I had my first daughter, I realized that I didn't want to go back to an office and that I wanted to do something else, something where I could help people.
Yeah.
And I didn't really know what that would be. And then my mom really talked me into trying yoga because she did it before I did. And I wasn't really that excited about that because I did a lot of martial arts before that, and she didn't quit. So I said, okay, I'm just gonna give it a try. And then it was love at first sight.
Oh.
And then I totally dove into it, and I had so many yoga teacher trainings, and then I finally found yin yoga, and that was the yoga which really touched my heart. I also loved the other teacher trainings, but they didn't feel complete. It felt like something was missing, and the missing link was yin yoga for me. And when I did that teacher training with my teacher, Paul Grilly, I woke up the last day in bed, and I thought, gosh, I have to write all of this down. There was so much inspiring stuff that he taught us, and I wrote everything down. And when I finished, I thought, wow, that could actually be a book. And then I sent it to a publisher and asked, do you want to do that? Nobody in Germany knew what yin yoga was, and they said, yes, we'll give it a go. And then it became a bestseller, and that's how it all started.
So exciting. So congratulations on that. Such a big deal. And you took the action. A lot of times we talk about lots of us get ideas for things, a book, a business, but you put it together in the book and you reached out to a publisher, which is really vulnerable thing to do. It takes a lot of courage. And it's so exciting that it has gone so well. And I know you have a big following in Germany and people know you. And then what was the inspiration to bring this book to the United States and Australia and Canada, this edition that comes out in English?
I just love the English-speaking countries. We travel a lot there, and I also was an exchange student when I was in high school in the US, and I totally loved it.
Where did you live when you went to your exchange program? What part of the United States?
In Idaho.
Oh, wow. It's funny
Yes,
because
and
I went to Germany for a summer when I was in high school. So that's fun that we were crossing
wow,
paths.
cool.
Unlike you, I did not learn the language. And so that's because I'm a lazy American and we don't, like it's, and I shouldn't speak for all Americans. I did not avail myself to learn a third language. And so I honor you so hugely for actually coming over and, like becoming an English speaker is amazing.
Oh, nice. Well, yeah, so I have a connection to the English-speaking countries, and we have in mind maybe moving to an English-speaking country later when our kids are done with school. So that's an option. We don't know about that, but that's
Yeah.
an option. And that's why I wanted to bring out an English-speaking book. And a lot of people also asked me about the book and said, can you please translate it? I would like to
Yeah.
know what's in there. And that's why I did it.
And you also created, because we talk a lot here too about there's the writing the book, but there's also marketing the book, right? Like we have to promote the book. And you and I know we've talked many times and are working on all these different strategies. Do you, because I know you, because your teaching is so much about postures and breath and sequences, do you use, like, what do you use the most between social media or YouTube, or like what other channels are you using for people to, like, they find the book, but they want more?
I think my biggest channel is actually my trainings.
Yeah.
I have my website, and a lot of people visit the website to find out more about the trainings.
Yeah.
But I also do regular videos on YouTube, and I use Instagram and Facebook, and and my email newsletter, of course.
Yes, absolutely. So, I mean, and that's what we, a lot of us who are writers think, oh, I got to write the book. And then, but there's all this stuff, videos and social media posts and, like you said, newsletters. So it's always, I'm always fascinated by, what channels people have been using, what they're liking. Do you like doing the videos? Is it hard for you, easy for you?
I guess I got used to it by now. At first, it was a little bit weird to talk to a camera and not have people in front of you.
Yeah.
But after a while, you get used to it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Absolutely. I felt the same. I didn't want to do them for so long. I was like, this is really, now I really enjoy, I really feel like I'm in the space with people is sort of what happened. Did that happen for you also, where you sort of, the camera goes away and it feels like you're with your clients or your people?
Yes, absolutely. There is a connection by now, for sure.
Yeah, wonderful. So let's talk a little bit about what has been the most challenging part of bringing your book out. You published with She Writes Press. So Stephanie and I mutually, we love Brooke Warner, the president there. I love Brooke. She was my editor when she was in traditional publishing for my first book. And then before she started She Writes. So we have a loving connection there in common. And what has been the most challenging part? And then we'll talk about what's been the best part so far.
It was actually pretty challenging because in Germany, I have only published with traditional publishers. And that's different because they do so much more for you than in hybrid publishing.
Yes.
They give a lot back to you and you have to do a lot of work yourself. And I didn't really expect that. So that was really a challenge.
Yes.
And a good thing is that you can put more of your own thoughts into the whole process than with a traditional publisher. But what's important, I think, is to work with a publicist as well, because otherwise it can happen that your book will be done and then nobody knows about it.
Yes.
And that's why I also worked with a publicist, and we did a lot of projects to get the word out about the book.
Absolutely. It's crucial, right? Because otherwise we have that awful thing that happens to so many writers who focus only on the book, and it's just like 2 people read it or 5 people or your couple friends. And that is not what any of us, I think anyone in this community, we want to make an impact. We want to reach more people. Like your work helps people heal. It helps people alleviate pain psychologically and physically. Like we want that as much as everywhere as possible on the planet, right? So what's been the best part so far? I know this just launched in the US, so we're really early days, but anything that's sort of stood out as something that's been really fun so far about bringing it to new countries?
The interviews are a lot of fun. like we are doing. And I had a lot of podcasts by now. And that's great fun to talk about the book now. All that the work is over.
Yeah.
Now the fun part is really starting.
Oh, that's so great. And I want everyone to really take that in. Like the promotion can be fun. Like it really can, like Stephanie's been a guest on many podcasts, many interviews. Like there's a lot of fun to be had to share that message with more people. And so what's coming up next? I know you have some exciting things in the works for like how you're going to even get this book out to more people. So do you want to share a little bit about what's in the incubator?
Yes, I am planning to do a health summit with a lot of experts from different fields, nutrition and healing experts and traditional Chinese medicine and all kinds of experts. And that's going to be the Be Healthy Summit, and that will air in January. And we're doing all the preparations for that right now.
Yes. And those of you that have been in this community for a while, like we love doing online shows or summits. We did our, best-selling author one and women starting movements this year. And Stephanie, we really met because of that. So it's just the power of, so for everyone watching, when you're thinking about your own like plan for bringing your book into the world and your thought leadership to more people, it's such an incredible, I don't even like calling it a strategy because that makes it sound so kind of like clinical and cold. It's just like a wonderful, joyful opportunity to meet more people and get out to their audiences. And we're really excited for your summit coming up, Stephanie. It's going to be awesome. And especially you guys that, are interested in wellness or interested in health and, this summit is going to really be talking about how you can cure yourself naturally. And that's a big deal. I know for me, I had a moment where I was having terrible insomnia, and I've shared this with Stephanie because we've shared this love of alternative healing and holistic natural healing. And I remember my doctor saying, well, I can give you sleeping pills. And I just knew that that wasn't going to be my answer for me. It just wasn't, it didn't feel right inside my body, inside my heart. And so that's what really was this amazing catalyst for me to explore natural healing, because I knew like the answer wasn't going to be that pill. It was only going to medicate a symptom, and I needed to get underneath at the root. And that's really, Stephanie, what I see your work doing as I've gotten to dive into it. Really powerful. Do you have a favorite experience from a student or a client or someone who's used the Yin Yoga sequences that had a real health shift? Or is there anything that kind of stands out like, this is why I love this work?
Oh, there are so many. That's really so touching when people get in touch with you. You don't even know, maybe just because they read your book or watched one of the DVDs. And one which probably touched me the most was a woman calling me, and I didn't know her, and she was in a wheelchair for about 10 years. And she said, I have been in terrible pain for all these years. And then I came across your DVD, and I tried to do some of the poses, and it was really hard for me because I'm in a wheelchair, but I tried to adapt the poses, and this was the best thing that has happened to me in all of these years. The pain got so, I could reduce the pain, and none of the therapies I did before did what Yin Yoga could do for me. And I still get goosebumps when I when I think about that. She just called to say thank you, and that was so touching.
Oh my gosh. I mean, it is incredible, the power of sharing our work in a book. Just you never would have met her otherwise, right? I mean, and this changed her life. So I talk a lot about how books can save lives, transform lives, heal, uplift, illuminate, and you're such an example of that, Stephanie. So we're wishing you so much success coming in. I'm so happy that you're here in the English-speaking market, so that I got the opportunity to get to work with you, and that so many more people around the globe can avail themselves of your incredible work, and can't wait to watch the summit in January.
Thank you so much.
It's good to be here. Bye, guys.
Blessings to everybody.